Festival in Cape Town is back once again with 15 award-winning international comedians from around the world and South Africa. Set to take place at the Artscape Theatre, this festival was launched in 1996 and was the first international comedy event on the continent. It's also staged hundreds of international artists from around the globe and sold over 1 million tickets during its 16-year run. The festival has introduced some of the most prominent comedians and had catapulted the careers of many acts. Now, to tell us more, we're joined from our Sea Point studios by comedian Daliso Chaponda. Good morning, Daliso, and welcome to Morning Live. It's great to have you on the show. Now, you're from the UK and you've performed on many other stages. How did you get involved with this particular comedy fest?
Well, I'm Malawian. I live in the UK, but because I'm Malawian, I love performing in Africa. So I've done the Cape Town Festival before, and this is my second time, and it's great to be back.
All right. Take us through what audiences can expect to see from your performances at this year's edition.
I very much let loose when I'm in Africa. I get to talk about, when I perform in America or in England, I have to almost explain African culture to them before they can get my jokes. While I'm here, I can just get started. I'm going to talk about everything. I'm going to talk about Eskom, one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I love it. I'm going to talk about politics. I'm going to talk about my love life. All subjects get covered by comedy, and that's what's really wonderful about it.
Daliso, I don't think you should be speaking about Eskom. I don't like that. I'm joking. But you say that you have, you feel free when you are in South Africa and that you're able to express your comedy in different ways on a variety of topics. What is so different about other audiences in the UK and, of course, in the US and other countries that you've been to?
I think it's more that this is where I grew up. My father's a politician in Malawi, so when I talk about Malawian politics, it's got more in common with South African politics than British politics. But also, the show which I'm on is the UN comedy, so it's going to be 7 different countries. There's going to be me, there's going to be a comedian from America, from Scotland, and it's kind of like a united sort of exchange of ideas. And even though we're being funny, we're also sharing what's unique about us.
Absolutely. Now, you've been performing for quite a number of years, and a lot of people would say that Britain's Got Talent really helped put your name out there and helped propel you and took you to the next level. How would you say you've grown since having been a part of that competition?
Well, for one thing, I got out of debt. It solved my problems. It took my career to the next level. I now have big audiences. I now get to be part of big festivals such as this. And it changed my life. And what was strange is I didn't expect much when I did it. So it was a wonderful surprise. And I got so much support from the African community from all around the world.
Now, looking back on your journey, if you had to share just some insights or give advice to an upcoming comedy act or comedian who'd love to get into the space, based on your own experiences, what would you say to them?
I would say the main thing, they just have to write jokes all the time. I write jokes every day. I was writing jokes today on the way to the studio.
How do you know a joke is funny?
Keep trying, keep performing at every... If you don't have paying audience, tell your jokes to your family. Just tell them to everyone and never stop.
But doesn't your family just laugh at everything you say anyway because they're your family? That might be a bit misguided.
They do now. They do now, but when I started out and said I wanted to be a comedian, and I was quitting being a computer programming, I nearly gave them a heart attack. So they're like, don't throw your life away. Now they've come on board.
That's fantastic to know. Now, this festival is one of the biggest comedy festivals in the country. What do you think platforms like these mean to comedians?
Oh, it's absolutely great because it introduces us to a new audience, but also it introduces them to us. So as I said, the UN comedy show, which is on from the 1st to the 8th, it's got comedians from America, from Scotland, an Australian. It's got like the entire globe on the stage. And what I love is when we go on stage, people see how different we are, but by the time you come off stage, people realize how alike you are, because comedy, that's what it shows you. Everyone has heartbreak, everyone has a family, everyone has the same problems, just coded in a different cultural outfit.
Daliso, when you look at comedy in South Africa, we see that there's only a number of women who are in this space. Is that a similar trend that you're noticing as you travel and perform in different parts of the world?
I actually think Africa has more strong female comedy acts. I know Tumi Morake, there's a Ugandan lady, Anne Kansime, who's doing amazing things across the continent. I actually think that the most revolutionary female comedians are actually African. And there's actually, I think there's a show called The Book Club, which is all female comedians as part of the Cape Town Festival. So I think female comedians are really growing in the continent, and you can give it a shot.
Oh, no. I'm not funny, and my mom wouldn't laugh at my jokes.
You're halfway there. You're a reporter. Just add jokes.
Okay, Daliso, I'll have to think about it. But what's next for you for the rest of the year after this international fest?
So I'm actually on tour right now. So I took a break from my UK tour to come do this festival. Then I'm going back and I'm doing 12 more cities. And then I'm filming a secret television project, which hopefully will be aired in Africa as well. And yeah, and then back to performing. But hopefully, eventually, I'll also come back to South Africa some more.
All right, Daliso, thank you so much for your time and speaking to us, and all the best with the Cape Town International Comedy Festival. And
thank you, and try telling the jokes. I'm paying.
I'm better at laughing at jokes, but it's okay. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us this morning. Sheesh, you know, interviews with comedians make me so nervous. You never quite know which way they'll go. But anyway, that was fantastic. It's time for us to catch up with what you can get up to today all over the country, really. If you've got a bit of time and you'd like to catch up with friends and family, there's plenty for you to do. Sims?